All right, ladies and gentlemen, ding, 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 ding. As we kick off the new year, well, you know, it kicked off Friday down on Wall Street. It should have stayed there. Wherever it kicked off, it should have kicked off literally, because today, a very bad day. We had the Weight Watchers people ringing the closing bell. We had a joke already for you about Weight Watchers and your money disappearing, because today your money disappeared. Let's put the numbers up on the board since we don't have the closing bell. And here they are. There you go. The Dow down 331 points, the biggest decline since October. Down 3% from its record high to close at 17,502. S&P down 37, and the NASDAQ down 74 points. All right, you know who's here. Rob Williams, Newsmax Deputy Financial Editor, and with the daily closing bell report. I'm telling you, have any more of these, you're not coming back anymore. All right, so oil fell below $50 a barrel earlier this morning, and all
closed below that level,
and all hell broke loose.
Yeah, right. And the energy sector sold off with it, and that helped to weigh down the Dow in a big way. So there was a lot of bad news for oil today, including just more supply possibly coming on board in the North Sea. So, it just keeps adding up.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, that explains, you know, the Dow, the energy stocks, et cetera. But
right.
When something like that happens, I mean, is it possible not to have it, you know, reach the broad market as it did, go across the board?
Well, it's interesting because there are a lot of companies that are affected by oil price, and one of the things we saw today is that Caterpillar was the biggest decliner on the Dow.
Because they make a lot of machines that are used by the oil industry too, right?
That's right, and they got downgraded today by J.P. Morgan that said Caterpillar's outlook is looking a lot shakier because it does supply a lot of equipment to the oil industry and to a lot of other businesses that are affected by it.
All right, so you know, where does oil go from here? And you know, during some of the up days that we had a couple of weeks ago, and now it seems like forever ago, during the Chris Santa Claus rally.
Yep.
I mean, oil still, I didn't go below 50, obviously, but it wasn't going up. It wasn't skyrocketing up. It wasn't the consensus wasn't, oh, oil's reached its bottom. So how does the market allow itself to have those great days in spite of it, and then when you know have a day like today because of it? Well, educate me. I'm ignorant.
Well, the $50 a barrel area or benchmark for oil was a big psychological barrier, and I think breaking that did affect kind of the market psychology. And now the question does become, how low does it go? Okay, $40, or does it go down to the mid-30s, low 30s like it did during the financial crisis? I think that is probably the big low that we could be looking at.
If oil goes down to the mid-30s, mimicking the levels of the financial crisis, do we have a market that mimics the market of the financial crisis?
Well, that is probably the biggest concern because these kinds of declines in oil usually come alongside a global recession.
Right.
And we have seen weakening demand in China. The Chinese economy is still growing, but not as much as it could be. Although, of course, you can't really trust Chinese data, I hate to say.
I'm shocked.
And also,
I was going to go home and lick the paint off a Chinese toy that I had.
And Europe, too, has been in a shaky condition, as well as Japan went into recession, too. So you have all these areas globally who are not buying as much oil.
And so the next benchmark to look for, the next maybe, I don't want to call it panic mark, but the next big psychological mark is 40.
Right. Yeah, I would say that's where a lot of people are looking to where it'll head, possibly in the next few weeks.
All right. Well, Rob Williams, Newsmax Deputy Financial Editor. I'd like to say thank you, but I can't. But good to see you. That's the Daily Closing Bell Report. If you want to take control of your financial future, get the heck out of oil, maybe. I don't know. Check out moneynews.com. It's live 24/7, and there it is. Look at those people going, oh, no. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, it's Give Me Five. Don't go away.